Hi YouTubers, this is my first QRP Portable expedition and I'm located at Trig Point. I won't give my exact location, just met the farmer and he's given me permission to use it, and this Trig Point is 2,092 feet above sea level, and there's no interference up here, and I'm running on 40 meters at the moment, and hopefully I should get my first contact. The Hare's up.
Ja, wunderbar. Also geht's dir gut. Vorhin war etwas QSB, aber das ging dann mal runter auf 5 und 9. Aber dann kam es wieder hoch auf 10, 15, 20, je nachdem. Und das geht sehr schön.
Well, I've been here about half an hour and I haven't had any contacts because most of the stations are not English speaking, and I can't get a word in edgeways. I don't know whether it's because I haven't got enough power or I've got a mismatch, but the SWR is perfect. The signals are S9, S7, they're really coming in strong here.
Danke für das nette QSO und sagt 73 hier aus der Nähe der Stadt Pirmasens. Delta Kilo 6 Kilo Lima, hier hört Delta Lima 1 Mike Whisky. Ja, prima Michael. Wunderbar. Funktioniert nahtlos. So soll es sein, nicht? Also, manchmal ist das so ein Hängen und Würgen. Besonders Stationen, die nicht eine gute Anlage haben. Da ist es manchmal etwas problematisch. Aber mit dir hat es jetzt Spaß gemacht, nicht? Super Signal, und dann ist das fast wieder auf Station. Es könnte sein, Mönchweiler ist mir irgendwie Begriff. Könnte sein, dass wir in den letzten 50 Jahren schon mal eine Verbindung hatten.
I'm at a road junction here which can be very busy.
Das war jede Verbindung noch handschriftlich immer Log ein, wie ich das damals gelernt habe mit der Prüfung 1970.
You wouldn't believe this, directly behind my aerial is a hare, and he's actually coming towards me. I'm making all this racket with the radio and I don't think he's even spotted me. That's amazing. Well, that's one contact I didn't expect to get. I wonder how close I can get to that hare before it does a runner. Shall we see? There he goes. He's off. God, I can move. And here's my setup station. I think I'm going to pack in now. I can't get any people to respond, so I think I'm packing. I had a good time up here. I can come here again. Well, time to pack in, definitely. Not getting anywhere today, so I don't know whether you've enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a mixture, just a matter of taking it all down. First thing I've got to do, I'll switch off the radio and I'll lower the tripod down. That's it, that's lowered down, and lower this section down. There you go, that's it, right down. Okay, that's almost at the ground, and take the telescopic section down, which is just another slide in it like this. There we go. It's coming down. There we go, that's the aerial down. I'll just loosen a little nut here, not to lose it. I can remove the main connection. Once I've got the top section off, I can put my tent pegs down the middle, inside the coil, save space. That's the top section off. Inside the coil, I can drop the tent pegs, and these I can use as earth rods. Disconnect coax. Thread loading coil. Like that. That's off. Drop the counterpoise on the grass. Tripod dismantles. That's the centre counterpoise section. One. These are white, so I can easily see them in the field. Two more to do. Laying on the floor is the counterpoises. There's the coax, tripod, whatever. These all go in a bag. In here. And there's a cap goes on the main coil, which is there. I'll put those away. So apart from the radio, this is basically it. A bag with the counterpoises, the tripod, telescopic, the loading coil, bivvy table, which folds up, very small. I just fold over like that. And that can actually go in my bag with the coil and then the other stuff. Okay, so what's my conclusion and thoughts about the QRP portable equipment I've sort of put together? Well, overall, pretty pleased. The counterpoise system works fine with the white plastic to wind the cable on, and it can be seen in the field. That's perfect, got no problems with that at all. I can either have 8 or more 5-metre lengths, or if I put them in series, because of these connectors, they will connect in series, I can have 4 10-metre counterpoises if I want. And the counterpoise bracket here is fine. The tripod is absolutely fine. The notebook is fine. The coaxial cable is fine. The bivy table works fine, although it's metal, and if I haven't got the right ground planes in the right place, the table can affect the SWR. So I'm going to look at that at a later stage, but it's quite happy to use a radio without it sitting on the table anyway. The little toolkit here, which is a screwdriver and a 1 spanner, is fine. The extra tent pegs is fine. Some of the daft things which didn't work very well is I need a clock for the time and obviously the date. I don't have a watch, and because of the bright sunlight I couldn't see the display on my phone, so I'd have to put a cover over my head or hide the phone inside my jacket if I had one. So having a mobile phone you can't see in bright daylight is no good. I need a watch, or I need some way of reading the time. The telescopic aerial section works fine. The coil works fine with the taps and SWR in, no problem at all. The only thing is, I don't think it's a good idea to store tent pegs inside the coil. As we're walking along, it's rattling. Plus, to do with how the aerial, the telescopic bit goes on, there's a small nut here for connecting the eyelet to this. So what I'm thinking of doing is not storing anything in the coil, and make sure that I can unthread it here because it's put in tight, and I'll show you what I'm referring to. Just going to stop the camera. Now then, inside the coil I stored these tent pegs, and these tent pegs, two things is, one is to peg these white plastic things down to the ground on the end of the counterpoise, but also I can connect them on the end so they go in the ground, so it can act as a ground stake. So I'm not going to store these inside the coil, and I'm not going to use this cap. The other thing inside the coil was these adapters, and these adapters are so that I can use this coil as almost a centre fed or a 3/4 fed with a long wire aerial, and I don't think I'm going to bother with a long wire aerial. I'm going to use a telescopic. And I mentioned earlier that this cap, right, okay, it's difficult to explain it. Let's try and explain it. The coil at the top here, it's got an eyelet which joins onto here to join the main telescopic. Well, I take this telescopic off by unscrewing this cap, but I need to disconnect this wire, which means this little nut here I could lose in the grass, and I won't need that spanner. And because I shall fit that cap onto here, thread it on and have this tight, I shall have the telescopic bit which separates here, and I'll just show you that and I'll put it together. So now I'm not messing about with this little nut here. It's got a locking washer on, that's quite secure, so the top of the coil goes straight to here. I can unthread the telescopic, I can hand tighten that in. Still got the use of the tap, which that works fine. On the coil I've got a static discharge resistor on the bottom end, so it discharges anything. So if I got me nano V&A, that's redundant, that cap. These are redundant as well. I don't need those anymore. I don't need the spanner. I'll actually make sure that's tight just there, the other end. I will need a screwdriver. It's always handy to have a screwdriver because it allows me to dismantle the coupling here if I need to. Although I'll be perfectly honest, once that's tight, that can stop as it is. So really there's a few little modifications, which I've already done that one. Yeah, the other thing is getting out and about. The time of day I chose, I think, was wrong. The bands were very, very busy with foreign stations, German, Italian, Spanish stations beaming through. I tried calling CQ, I tried the QRP calling frequency, got no reply. I tried to butt in, as they say in the conversation, but they were so quick between each over, I couldn't get anywhere. I tried the 40 metre band and the 20 metre band, and the signals were coming in fantastic. There was no QRM at all. It was clean as a whistle, the signals I was picking up. But with running 5 watts on battery, on some parts of the band it was jumping up to 10 watts, but as the batteries went down a little bit, it was down to 5 watts. Overall, very impressed with my aerial setup. It was easy to set up the SWR. Once I've used it a few times, I should put some extra markers on the coil for the bands. Yeah, can't fault it really. It's all worked out very nicely. Spoke to the farmer and he said I can come whenever I want. If there's cattle in the field, it's not advisable, but any other time I can do what I want in that field. So thanks to him. The only thing I didn't really think about is a tripod for filming. So, you know, if I wanted to record the day, so I've actually got a lightweight charity shop find tripod here, which cost me a few pound. So that could go with the kit, and hopefully it'll go in the bag, because all of this is planned to fit in a yoga mat bag, and a yoga mat bag which is on order, but that won't come for a while. It's come from China as usual. So once again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like.